Welcome to notebook number 9, miscellaneous subset selection. So believe it or not, there are still more ways to select data. I don't personally use these methods, but I want to show you them because they are available. Some people use them and you will encounter them in the real world. I just believe they are bad practice and will use some reasoning to show you that. So let's go ahead and get started by reading in this other sample data set. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to select a column of data with dot notation. So it's actually simpler to do than the brackets. So the first way I showed you how to select a single column is with the brackets. And you put the name of the column inside of the brackets and you get this series returned. Now it's simpler. You can actually use dot notation like this, df dot name, and you'll get the same thing. So this is less syntax. And you might be wondering why I say to avoid this. Well, there are many reasons. These are just a small subset over here, but I'm going to show you why. So for instance, if you wanted to select our average score, I should say, which is a column like this that has a space in it, you cannot do that. That is not possible. So that is one of the reasons. You also cannot select this column max, so df.max like this, and you're like, okay, what is this? I didn't get an error. So what happens is max is a method, and so this is a name collision. So whenever there's a collision, that means a column name has the same name as a pandas method. The pandas method will be chosen, and what this has done is it has made a reference to this method. You have not called it. We'll learn about calling these aggregation methods coming up, but this is basically referencing that max method, not the column max. And so the only way to select average score and max is with the brackets. So the brackets can always select your columns. You're guaranteed that it'll always work. Dot notation is simply a subset of that. So that is the main reason why and those are just two examples of why not to use dot notation. I like to keep things uniform, so I always select columns using the brackets myself, even if it's quicker to use dot notation. That way all of my pandas code looks the same. All right, so here are some here are all the reasons I have right here. Actually, there's more, but these are just a subset. You can select column names with spaces. That's when all of these are with the brackets. You can select column names with the same name as methods, like max. You can select columns with variables. So let's just say I had a variable called call and I set it equal to name. I obviously cannot do df.call. It will look for a column named call or a method named call, and that doesn't work. But I can do df and brackets, put call in there, and it'll be correctly interpreted. Select columns that begin with numbers. So yes, if you had a string that said I don't know, the number 2 and then some words, it wouldn't work. You can select columns that are non-strings. So sometimes you can have columns in a data frame that are numbers. It could just be 2, 8, 173, doesn't matter. You cannot select columns like that with dot notation. You'd have to use the brackets. So there are actually several more reasons why, but hopefully this is enough to show you, at least this is my reasoning why I don't use the dot notation for selecting columns.